Well folks, I've just bought my first GoPro. It's just a standard GoPro, so I could only afford a couple £100, so I haven't gone over the top, and I don't think I've got anything that'll edit, you know, ultra high definition stuff. So anyway, this is me having a cigar, just gone out. I haven't brought my lighter with me, so that's the end of that one. Shouldn't really smoke. I've been very good with not smoking, but about 6 days ago I stopped drinking, and I've been drinking huge amounts, so I've been allowing myself that sneaky little puff of a cigar now and again, just to tide me over mentally and reward myself with a little victory now and again, I suppose. A little sneaky desire, a little sneaky, well, you've got to learn to love yourself a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm not going to film all of it because it'll be boring, but I'll film the start of it and anything good I find on the way. I haven't bought any accessories yet, so I'm just going to hand hold it and take the odd bit of interesting items we come across, and hopefully it won't be too boring for you. And you know, if it works out, I'll get a few more bits and pieces and start doing this a bit more professionally, just for the sake of it. Anyway, this is the little gate that exists at the back of my parents live at the moment, and we've got something very odd behind my parents' house, which you'll be able to see through this gap in the trees here. They live next to a castle, so I'll wander up this lane, and when the castle comes into view I'll show you a bit more of it. Anyway, I've walked up from the lane, my parents' house there in the background, and this is the castle I've known all my life, really. That pretty little thing. Anyway, here it is. It's Alford Castle on the Suffolk coast, and in fact in the background over yonder there, you can just about see the horizon where the sea is. It's a great place to grow up, really. Hopefully I've got the wind filter on. I haven't even worked out whether it is on, so if I get back and all this is inaudible, I've considered it a rather big waste of time, but never mind. It's a learning experience, and sometimes you can agonise too long and hard about how to do things, what you're going to do, and sometimes in life you just got to put one foot in front of the other and get on and deal with it, really. It's nice, isn't it? Little girl there in the window. She's having a good time. It's, as you'll see from the grass, it's an exceptionally hot and dry summer. I'm not sure what the date is today, actually. It's July 2018. I think it's the 6th, might be the 7th. I could look at my GoPro and find out. Let's have a look. I don't know if it says. I really haven't investigated this thing too much, but look at that view over the allotments. Nice big patch of nettles there in the middle, but everywhere else is dry as a bone. I haven't known there's excitement in Alford. I can... hope it's not an ambulance. There's a siren going somewhere. Hope it's not an ambulance. That's never nice to hear, is it? Anyway, these are the hills where I used to ride my bike as a lad. You can imagine how exciting it is thundering down here. You think like you're going a million miles an hour. And down there's the river, so I'm going to exit that way, walk across the fields, down to the river, and all the way back home. And whatever I find that's good to see, I'll share with you. This bit might not work out. I'm down a crag pit. It's at the back of the castle. play here a lot when I was a lad. But these trees were not grown up half as much then. Usually when I go off to investigate somewhere covered in nettles, I make sure I'm wearing shorts so I get stung to bits, but you know, because I like a bit of pain. It's good for the soul. I want to show you the crag if I can get there. That's one sting. Lovely. Here we go. And basically this is crag. It's like a really, really soft sandstone. If I can get to it. I used to sit there as a lad. I mean, look at it. It's about 6 foot high, but I used to think I was king of the castle. Look at these ants living in there. Carrying eggs around, so they're obviously on the move. I guess this used to be the bottom of the sea or something, because it's very sandy. It's a really rough kind of building material. I think you'd use it as infill, so you'd build up. I'd probably make mortar with it with a bit of lime as well. Just sort of show you that. Now I've got to get back out with that. Sting myself. I'll keep it running because it'll be fun for you to hear me going ouch, ouch. I've gone ouch. Feel like a little boy again. There we go. And this was sort of excavated for many a year, so down here where someone's put a picnic table there. Never used to be there when I was a lad. You can see it's a real bowl down here. It's a nice little sun trap now. The sun's blazing away today. Fig tree there. One solitary fig. Anyway, off we go. Well, I've walked down from the castle, up the road, up this track. We're heading out onto, well, it's marshes really. It's reclaimed marshland that's farmed around here. It's a beautiful hot day. Really is. We shouldn't moan about it. It gets you down a bit after a while and you feel a bit hot. You feel a bit bothered, especially if you're at work. I'm not at work at the moment because I haven't been feeling too bright, so I've made myself get out and have a walk around just to lift my spirits a bit. I think that's rosebay willow herb. Could be. Bindweed. See the white flowers? It's bindweed, and you can see on that reed just over there how much it just chokes everything up. There's loads of it in my mum's garden. I'll do a little video later on about how I'm trying to start to deal with it in my mum's garden. Another thistle. Because bindweed really is a bind. Once you've got it in your garden, it's horrible. Anyway, we'll continue up here. There's a sewerage pumping station up this lane, so that'll be a really nice romantic shot for you all. Lovely sound, wind and trees. That's a bit cliched. Do you know, I honestly can't remember what this flower is called. It's a flower, not a weed, because a weed, so they say, is just a plant where you don't want it. So seeing as that's pretty and it's not doing any harm, it's a flower, it's not a weed. See how flat it is? It's all reclaimed marshes really. Well, I say reclaimed, it's marshland, but it's got drainage ditches and lots of lovely crops growing here. Not very good at my crop identification, I'm afraid. Looks like wheat, but could be barley for all I know. Anyway, here's the sewerage pumping station. I'm not going to glorify or gentrify or whatever you want to call it my videos. Just going to video whatever I happen to see. If I happen to see something that's not traditionally beautiful, I'll still show it to you. Little hedge sparrow there. If I get any closer he'll fly off. There he goes. But there you go, it's the sewage pumping station, it's doing its job. Bit of a reed bed there they've got going. Quite a good way of clearing water, I suppose. Doesn't smell too bad actually. You go around the corner here, you'll see one of the big ditches. I don't know how long ago they were cut, but it's what allows the farmers to farm this land here. Hear the crickets? You might hear them. Depends how good this microphone is and how good your hearing is. It's quite high pitched. The trouble we've got this year is everything's growing madly. It's near water, so that's a big ditch, but it's got a lot of reeds growing in it. I think round the corner we can see it a bit more clearly. But beautiful day. There's the castle on the horizon. You can see the church over there as well. Here's one of these ditches. Try not to fall in, although I expect you'd love it if I did. I'd get on to fail army, but those are famous last words, so I'm not going to tempt fate. They're very wide, but there's a lot growing in them. It's a bit of a winter time job clearing these out, so it's not too much of a concern for the farmer. Right in the distance over there, you can see an irrigator working. I think those are potatoes growing on those fields, so they're a real thirsty kind of crop. But I'll show you down here just how dry the ground is. Look at these cracks forming. I can get my whole hand in there, and the ground is quite clayey actually for around this area. It's very hard, but things find a way to grow. I don't know whether I'll get a shot of this, but there's a little mayfly here flying about. No, it's gone. They're too timid. They're like a tiny little dragonfly. I'm still walking along here. I took a huge drink of water before I came out, but I didn't bring any with me. That's a bit foolhardy. There you go. Got my iPod with me. iPod Shuffle. I don't think they make these anymore, which is a pity really, because you know, they're just do what it says on the tin, no frills, and they're good company. I'm listening to the Doug Stanhope podcast, which for someone who just a little bit fancies a drink, even though I'm trying not to, it's not the best podcast to listen to, but there you go. I can be strong-willed when I want to be, so let's hope I can keep that one up. Nearly got to our next little bridge. Bit of ragwort here. Well, I'm pretty sure it's ragwort. I'm not an expert on these things, so some bees there. Look. It's poisonous to horses, so if you see that growing in your paddock where your horses are, it's one thing that horse lovers will rip out of the ground right quick. You can hear a skylark in the sky. Haven't got a hope of filming them because like Vaughan Williams' piece of music, The Lark Ascending. They just ascend and go up to the heavens before they really like to have a good sing, and they'll just spend hours up there flying and singing. I presume they're catching insects while they're up there, but they don't seem to let up singing long enough for that to happen, but that's what they do. Anyway, castle right in the distance, and I've made it to the first gate. This gate's in better days, poor thing. It's a bit fractured, look. But at least the footpath sign is still in the right direction. Farmer will have to fix that come autumn time. When the harvest's in, he's got a bit more time. The other day when I walked along here, I found a little family of mice. They might still be there. We'll see. Sweet little bridge here over one of the drainage ditches or dikes. I don't know what the difference between a ditch and a dike is really. I like these little gates here, look, to keep sheep, or round here it'll be cows mainly. Just open him up. My foot. I'll even lock it. Don't always do that. Just up here on this bank is where I found some sleeping mice the other day. I've never ever seen that in the whole of my life, but it's quite a well trod track here, so I'd be very surprised if we catch them twice. Apologise if we don't see them again, but I'll show you where they were. No, they've gone. That's their home in there. The other day when I came along, they were all just laying here having a sleep, and I thought they were dead, so I poked one of them and he just got up and yawned and wandered off. Never seen anything like that before. Anyway, I'll keep running because we go over the top here and there's the river. Black-headed gull. Beautiful day. I won't do too much on the river. I'll save that for another day. I'll walk down to the quay, or perhaps drive down one evening and show you a few shots of that. But this is much further along, and you can see the lighthouse that's no longer in use. And there, my friends, is where a lot of atomic research was done into a bomb. Well, the bomb. The pagoda buildings there, look. I'll read up a bit more about that before I tell you about it, because, you know, Michael Portillo's been over there recently and I'm sure he's done a much better job than I would explaining it all to you. You can just about see it over there's the old BBC World Service transmitters. Really smells seaweed. I really like the smell, but some people think it's a bit muddy, but I think it's a lovely smell. I'll wander around the river wall here for a bit, and then right over there I can backtrack, make my way home for a cup of tea. I'll admit I am slightly hampered by the fact I've not done any test shooting with this at all, so I've got no idea how much shows up and how much doesn't. But lots of butterflies around here, all in the grass, making babies. Lucky beggars. This is where the river gets quite wide here, and in the middle there you've got Havoc Island, which is a bird sanctuary. You get avocets on there, which are lovely little birds. And the river sort of splits into two around it, so it goes off that way and then off this way. There's nice little flowers down here, I'm just going to show you. Literally watch my step. Oh, listen to that. How crunchy is the seaweed. Poor stuff. It'll spring back to life. Got no idea what this is. I could look it up, but I'm not that bothered. got a flower on it just like Verbena bornearis, or whatever you call it. There's a few more shots there of the pagodas, as they were called. It's amazing people over there were planning on making atomic weaponry. Such a rural and peaceful environment. Let's see what this is over here. I'm going to try and shoot these and edit in camera. The old style, just turn on and off when you see something good, because I don't want to spend hours. That's just a fencing stake. Yeah, I don't want to spend hours sitting in front of a PC editing. So I'll try not to swear or say anything inappropriate, and hopefully we'll just end up with something that's interesting enough. That's why I'm doing it in little short bursts. It's not because I don't like your company. It's just that, well, it's easy to video loads and loads and loads of footage, and because editing is exciting in the first half an hour, and then after that you think, I've had enough of this. I've been there before, and I don't want that to be the reason for not doing these. I won't intrude on them too much. People don't like having cameras pointed at them, but a little rib, inflatable, a little motorboat on the back. Perhaps he owns that yacht. You can still hear the little man on his boat. I'll show you these. I won't wander around on it too much because I don't like damaging plants. But when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time down here on this particular bit. You can jump from island to island. You can see these little bits there, and they're all separated. They've all got channels here that run up and fill up, and the joy is to jump from one to the other. But I might do one or two just to amuse you, but I don't want to damage things too much, because if everyone done it. You can see a dog's been here. Good run around. That's pretty, isn't it? I think it is his boat. Look, there we go. Good for him. That's a really nice craft. Shouldn't be jealous of people who've got lovely things. They've probably paid for them in one way or another. See lots of bird footprints here. Don't think you'd make a footprint today. It's far too hard. There you go, this shows you all the fun I used to have as a little boy. I used to jump from island to island, because the river here is quite tidal. I'm not sure exactly how many metres, but you know, a couple of metres, and they're very strong currents out there. So Orford, well, the River Orr at Orford is nowhere to swim, unless you're Duncan Goodhue or Michael Phelps or something like that. So that's why this patch of lovely, gorgeous mud is still wet, because later on today, actually the mouth of the river is that way and his boat is pointing that way, so the tide is still coming in. So this will get wetter and wetter depending how high the tide is. You can't quite see it today because it's quite a hazy. There's a lot of water. Just over there, you see, is the sea, just the other side of the shingle spit, really, but we call it the island. But you can usually see the cranes at Felixstowe Docks just over there, because it's not very far in a straight line, but it's far too hazy today. And there's the castle and the church. And that line there is where I've walked. Anyway, on we go. This will be good fun and a bit of a test of my bravery. I don't think this electric fence is on, because you can usually hear them clicking. Shall I test it? No. Well, I've got one leg either side, so I sincerely hope it isn't on. It's a bit of a drainage channel here. I'm going to walk up it and show you a couple of swan with their cygnets. I won't get too close though, because they won't appreciate it. he's seen me, look. I think they've got kids in there. You really want to get too much closer. I'll just stand up on this wall. It's a long way up here. Just about see them. Little grey cygnets. Battery's at 50% on this. Everyone said in the reviews that I probably need another battery, but you know, I thought I'd find out for myself first, but I think I might need one. Off we go. I haven't been this way for a long time, many a year. I seem to remember just up there there's a path back past the farm. I hope so, otherwise I've got to walk all the way to Bordsey, which I don't want to do. Thank goodness. There's the gate and the track home. Depending on how I feel, I might walk past that little forest over there and back. We'll see. Let's walk down here. Haven't seen any snakes today. You don't often see them along the river here, but now and again you do. No crocodiles in the ditches either. I'm only kidding. We don't have them here. Actually, when I said I don't want to walk to Bordsey, I forgot really. It's not possible because you end up walking up Butley Creek. So that's where I've walked, sort of, along there, past Havergat Island in the middle, and then we've come down here and we are here. If I carried on, it'd end up all the way to Butley. You can do that and walk back through the forest. Perhaps we'll walk down the forest here one day. But I'm going to walk along here and back home. Phew-wee, it's hot. I mean, it's not midday, but it's still hot. There you go, you can see the way I've come. I've got my Mr. Lazy t-shirt on today, but I feel a bit good that I've been anything but lazy, you know. I was of a mind just to stay in my bedroom all day and mope, but sometimes you have to make yourself do things, don't you? Get out, have a walk, do something. That's the secret, do something. There's a road up there, and then I've got to decide whether I go over the fields and back or straight up the road. There's not a lot in it, so I might go over the fields, be something to show you. Well, made it back to the road. There's the farmer there, look. One of the farm workers setting up some irrigation. That's a field of sugar beet, I think. Oh no, it's potatoes. It's a bit too early in the season to be worrying about sugar beet, I'd have thought. Potatoes are a very thirsty crop, so poor old farmers are working hard at the moment, keeping them irrigated, because, well, it's a very, very dry summer. I mean, if you're living in Arizona, you're going to think, wow, what is he talking about? But, you know, for us lot, for England, it's dry. On the road still. It's a nice place to live, isn't it? Nice and peaceful. Here comes the fan. Keep this running, do a bit of action for you. Dusty. I mean, this is an amazing thing about our country. Look, there's not a lot around here, but little post box. Every single day 3:45 Saturday, 9 AM collection. It's terrific, isn't it, really? And there you have it. Irrigator on the go. We'll go up this dusty track for a few yards and then we'll cut back across to the castle. I've decided to carry on a little bit further, so I could have cut across this field here, gone straight, but I'll go a little bit further. Field full of maize there. Some pine trees. They're not indigenous to this country, pine trees, so I don't think so. Every single pine tree. It's all put here by man. Well, I suppose they self-seed in the end, but it's not naturally what Britain would look like. One of the irrigation pipes here that they use, and then they'll connect up the big reel with the squirter on. I mean, that's a fair old bore on that. If you look at that, to the size of my hand. Very powerful things, the pumps that drive these. You can just tell how much water a crop needs. This path is called the Broom, this track, and I can only presume it's because this flower grows here. It's called broom. I don't know if it smells. Let's have a go. But slightly. I've got a very bad sense of smell. Yeah, a little bit. That's broom. And this is the broom. Or if you're from Suffolk, the broom. Geese over there. Well, I'm quite a way home now. Nice field of potatoes there. Who would we be without potatoes? I suppose we just eat rice or pasta instead. I'd miss chips. I actually came this way to have a look at this little beast. It's the new mobile phone mast that's gone up. It's a smart thing, really. It doesn't ruin the countryside that much, but I just came to see if it's been turned on. It's an O2 mast, but there's rumours that it's just for smart metering of electrics. Let's have a look at the cabinet. It says on, but I can't hear any equipment fans going, so it's got power to it coming out of the ground. Last time I came around here it said off, so perhaps it is just a 2G type affair for smart metering. Doesn't really say on the sign. I'll tell my dad and the village will speculate a bit more as to what its purpose really is. The signal isn't great in the village, but there you go, it's a rural environment, what do you expect? Lovely really, isn't it? Still going. Well, come all the way along that track through this little gap in the hedge. We're heading back to the village now. There's the castle on the horizon. We'll come all the way around. We'll go through this field. I'll show you the school when I get there. You might recognise it. I'm not sure what this is here. Oh, scared some pigeons. I think deer have been eating this. It's all been ripped up out of the ground in just this patch here. Very curious. And then there's this slightly more immature crop here, but when you walk along, all of a sudden you see that line there, look. And that looks to me like perhaps some deer have been running through there. I don't know, I might be wrong. Curious. Well, we're nearly back to the village now. We're I've got 12% left on the battery. I kind of thought it'd last a bit longer, but I suppose I've been doing a lot of on and off. Here's the fire station and their trading tower. I'll show you the school in a second when we get up here. That used to be where I had my school dinners. It was the hall at school. I suppose it still is. And they look like musical instruments to me. Pretty, aren't they? I'll keep it running for a second. I've been doing a lot of stop-starting, I realise that. But I don't know. It's supposed to go on longer than it should do. Now sold there. It's just nice to watch general videos of other people's countries and other people's towns. Here's my primary school that I went to hundreds of years ago. You might recognise it because it's the school where the I can't remember her name, where the lady works in the Detectorists, the BBC TV comedy, I suppose you'd call it, but it's a bit of a drama. There it is. So there you go. Fame. That's where the Detectorist, the lady's wife, works. I can't remember her name. It's a long time since I watched it actually, so I might watch it again. It's a lovely programme. Nearly home. Might as well walk through the rec. It's the social club, playground, adults gym. Don't feel up to that today. The zip wire. My parents' house just over there. There we go, out of the park. And back to my parents. Ooh. It's my car here. I've only had it a month. It's quite nice. It's convertible. I'll show it to you one day. I might put a little mount on the front for the GoPro. At the moment, I'm going to use the cigarette lighter to have another little puff of my cigar. Look at this. It's all from that lime tree there. It just squirts sap all day long. I've polished and washed this car, but we've got a little bit of a water shortage in the UK at the moment, so I'm not going to bother washing it for a bit. That's my excuse. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Cheers.